our town, the treasure coast choice. I am, you are, we are Vero's voice.
Hey there, brother. Thanks for joining us on the Vero's Voice podcast. Sorry, I can't even keep a straight face. If they're listening on audio and they're like, why the heck is he talking like Hulk Hogan? It is Halloween. I am dressed up like Hulk Hogan today. So happy Halloween, everybody. And I've got Elliese Shaughnessy sitting in here with me today. Hey, Elliese is dressed up too, man.
Yeah.
You're from Bob's Burgers, right?
Yep.
It's
Louise.
Louise Belcher is the name of the
Yep.
character. I've watched a couple episodes of Bob's Burgers.
She's the youngest one.
I texted Elliese. I was like, I'm gonna wear a costume. She said, okay, I'm gonna wear one too.
Yep, just like that.
Well, thanks for coming in and just sitting and chatting with me today for a little bit. As you know, this show is all about Vero Beach and the flavor and the people in it and the local stories and everything. And Elliese, I actually just found out, we were chatting before the show, Elliese is a civil engineer, so she's responsible for a lot of the things, the new construction and things you see coming up. Not directly, you have a hand in it. We'll say that. You're not out there building it like, brick by brick, but you have a hand in the planning of it and everything. So, but that's not why I have you in here today. You're actually the founder of a local organization called the Young Adults of Vero Beach, which I actually have the privilege of being a part of, even though I think I'm probably a little bit too old to be in there. But that's okay.
Never.
I'm pretty old. I don't know. But so, Elliese, tell us a little bit about the Young Adults of Vero Beach. What is it, and how did it get started?
Yeah, so we host events to help young people in the community meet others.
Mhm.
So when I moved here back in 2018.
Okay, so you've been here for about 7 years
7
now?
years.
Okay.
Crazy.
Wow. Mm-hmm. What brought you to Vero? Sidetrack
Yeah.
before we get going. Sorry, I didn't mean to fire too many questions
No,
at you
it's
rapid
okay.
fire. What brought you to Vero originally? Is it work?
So my best friend and I wanted to leave Texas because we knew if we started working there, we would never leave.
Mm-hmm.
So we thought, oh, it's a good time to go out and explore somewhere else. So we actually applied a whole bunch of places, California, Montana, anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
And she got a job here in Vero Beach. It was either here or Orlando.
Okay.
So I said, we're not going to move to a big city. That's silly. So we chose Vero. I didn't have a job yet.
Right.
So we found a place, signed a lease. Never heard of it, of course.
Never heard of Vero Beach yet.
Never.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But we thought, yeah, let's move to this small beach town. The day we signed the lease, I had an interview with the county. So
Okay.
I worked for the county for a couple years.
Civil engineering
Yeah.
as well? Okay.
Yep.
So you still work for the county now or no?
No, I do private side.
Okay.
More design work.
All right,
Yeah.
cool. So, all right, so that's how you came to Vero Beach, and you started Young Adults of Vero Beach, and you were telling me about what it is, and then I interrupted you. So,
Yeah,
sorry.
So when I first moved here, I'm very grateful I moved with my friends. So I had someone here.
You got a support system.
Yeah.
Is your friend still here or no?
No, she moved back during the pandemic.
Oh, okay.
But it took me a really long time to make other friends. And I'm a super social person. I'm an extrovert. I need to be around people.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't finding many young people at work. I'm not the type of person to go out and drink or go to bars or anything.
Mm-hmm.
I
And that's pretty
tried-
much what there's to do here. If you're like in your 20s or 30s, if you're single, you have bars. Is
Yeah.
about it. You know.
Yeah.
Well, there's a couple other
There's
things.
other stuff.
Well,
for
there's
sure.
more things now, I think, but mostly because of activities and events for groups like yours. But
Yeah, and I
They-
think businesses are realizing too that
Yeah.
they should start marketing other audiences.
Mhm.
So.
yeah, so you're looking for stuff to do, and there just really wasn't much to do, right?
Yeah, and I just wasn't making friends. I'm a social person, so
You
I
didn't
said,
know anybody really.
No, the first time I made a friend, it was finally late 2018, so 6-7 months after I'd moved
6-7
here.
months living here, like
And
no
I-
family, no friends, no support
Yeah.
system really.
Right, and
Mhm.
I started volunteering at Youth Guidance, and so that's where I first
Oh,
made
I
my
didn't know
first
you
friend.
volunteer. I volunteer with youth guidance over there sometimes.
Yeah.
That's wild. Okay, cool. So who was your friend that you met over there at youth guidance?
My friend Chance was one of the leads there, like one of the after school teachers.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he also moved, but
Everybody does.
Yeah, he was my first friend. But it took me so long to, make a friend that I thought, I'm sure other people are feeling this way. I know a lot of younger people are transplants.
Mm-hmm.
So I started the group January of 2019,
Mm-hmm.
and we just started hosting events. We had it on meetup.com for a while.
Meet up. Okay.
But the Facebook group really took off. I think the first year we had 400 people, so I was pretty excited.
Okay. So you met Chance, and did Chance kind of like help you co-found the group essentially? And you didn't set out to create this like massive young adult in Vero Beach networking site that it is now, obviously. So right, it just kind of was born of necessity of like, I gotta go find some people to do stuff with. Like I'm losing my mind here.
Yeah. No, I thought of it. I just started putting things out there. He definitely helped me with knowing some other people, so
Mhm.
we were able to bring more people in like that. And I started meeting more people. I did find someone at work, so we had a little group going, and just the more we advertised and started hosting things, more people came out. But
Mm-hmm. So what
Yeah.
were like the first couple of meetups like? Like what were like you first So like you first like what were some of the first meetups that you did? Like for what type of events?
yeah, I think I remember one of the first things we did, we tried to go out to Riverside and like play some games. And it ended up raining, so we went back to my house, and luckily it was all people I knew.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a fun get together.
Yeah.
Another one we did, we went to there was a pizza place out on 60 like West, and they would have bingo or
Pizza-
trivia or something.
Bingo or trivia pizza place. Okay.
Yeah, like every other Wednesday. So I tried to coordinate and host an event there, and it turns out it was the wrong Wednesday. And I had people come in, and when we told them, "Oh, sorry, we picked the wrong day," they just left.
Oh gosh.
But it's okay because I saw them like a couple years later, and now they're part of the group.
Okay.
So hey,
Cool.
but it was just easy stuff like that. We
Mhm.
would do a lot of restaurant meetups, bowling, easy stuff.
All right. Well, you started with that, and I forget. Like, gosh, what was it? It had to be 2021 or 2022. I actually, met you and the young adults crew. You guys started coming to my trivia nights, which was kind of cool. You guys, and I think there's still a few.
Yeah.
There's still a few carryovers from the group that still come to trivia nights. Like mostly, like the group is kind of like turned over, so to speak.
Yeah, it's a new group.
Yeah, but that's all right. But there's still some of the holdovers from like the OG group that still come from time to time. And actually, I have to like say it's kind of crazy the way it turns out, because if I hadn't have started hanging out with you guys, I would have never met my girlfriend. Like and I always say this in the groups. People will post like, "Hey, where are the single ladies at?"
Oh
or
my
something
God,
to that
yes.
effect. And I'll just say, listen, man, you got to come in without the expectation of meeting a partner or
Mhm.
significant other. You just come in to have like just to have a social experience and maybe make some friends. And
Yes.
then once you expand your social circle, then you maybe meet somebody that is interested in dating.
Right.
Um,
People don't think about when you start
Yeah.
making friends, it's just so much easier to expand
Yeah,
that network.
yeah, and then you can find someone like So you guys were coming to my trivia nights, one night a week, and you guys did that for
every Tuesday.
every Tuesday night.
Yeah.
And then there was a secondary, like a smaller subsection of the group that would go, and then like I think you would go home typically, but there would be people that would go across the street to Catelli's. I think it was called Backbeat at the time,
Yeah,
Backbeat
yeah.
Music Lounge. I don't know if you ever went or not, but they had Tuesday night karaoke over there, and then I went over there with everybody, and then there is where I met Charisse on that. So it was hanging out with you guys, even though she wasn't part of the circle. You just hang out with a group of people you've never hung out with. Things happen, so you never know. So, this town that we live in, Vero Beach, and I'm not saying there's anything wrong with this, listeners. Okay, is in large parts a retirement community, like and it's a little bit difficult for people to make friends. Like I, always say that if you're in, remember like when you were a kid and you were in school and you just walked up to somebody like, oh hey, you're wearing a Rainbow Bright T-shirt. I like Rainbow Bright. Can we be friends? Yes. Boom, friends. Done. Doesn't really work like that so much when you're an adult. And so even if there's people around, if there's not events and things going on, it gets more and more difficult to meet people. So what would you I mean, what would you say it's like being a young adult here in Vero Beach?
Um, I actually think it's really convenient.
Is it?
Once
Okay.
you start making friends and you start paying attention to what's happening around town,
Yeah.
um, it's not just a problem with us being in a small town where it's hard to make friends. It's just us as a
Yeah.
generation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and actually, I think it's a lot harder to make friends when you're in a big town. So I have a lot of friends that are all over the country,
Yeah.
and everyone has.
More people doesn't necessarily mean
Yeah.
more friends. Yeah.
Right, and I think the beauty of being in a small town is there's not as much to choose from because millennials hate choosing things to do. And so we're lucky enough to where we have maybe one or two things to choose from instead of 25 things spread out across 45
Yeah.
minutes of town.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's
you
true.
start running into people more and you see them more often.
Mhm.
And you're like, oh, I've seen you, at Walking Tree that one
Mm-hmm.
day.
Yeah, I
I
get
think
that.
I don't think people understand that
I
it
can't
can be easier.
I can't tell you like the amount of places I go to where I'll be like walking through some place or I'll be like out by Main Street or something like that. And I just hear, "Hey, trivia guy!" And I'm like, I am a trivia guy. Yeah, I have a name, but that's cool. I'll take trivia guy. It's fine. I'm glad. Thank you for coming to trivia night. So you've been here for about 8 years now. Do you see like a shift in the landscape? Do you think is there like in terms of like age? Because it feels like I remember like I'll give you an example. Like so, I grew up here.
Mhm.
As I was here in like the '80s and the '90s. As a little kid in the '80s, a teenager in the '90s. And it really did feel like it was in large parts, mostly just a retirement community. Like there, I mean, you
Mm.
have families and stuff here, but um, and maybe it's just because I'm getting older and I notice it more now. But like we like so I live on a street that's like just now got developed. Our house was built less than a year ago. I mean, a little bit over a year ago, about a year and a half ago. Our house was built, and there was no houses on that street. And now that entire street is filled with houses, and it's all young adults with like kids and things like that. And that wasn't really something I saw a lot as a kid. So do you think that we like the demographics for Vero Beach is shifting a little bit?
I've to me, I haven't. I don't know. I don't know if 8 years is big enough, but I
Mhm.
feel like what has been changing is more people are living with their parents, and I think
Well, hey,
that's what
listen,
brings a lot of the
and
younger people here.
no, I'll tell you this. Like I actually in my 30s I moved back in with my parents, and when I met Charisse, also living with her parents, we both had well-paying jobs too. It's like this is kind of the reality of it. And it wasn't until we got together and decided to buy a house, pull our resources. We're like, okay, now we can buy a home, and together we can both get out of our
Yeah.
parents' house. But yeah, it is a really common thing, and I am meeting a lot of people here in Vero Beach that are, grown age, but they're just like, and they have well-paying jobs, but
Mhm.
they live with their parents because it's expensive here.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's why we see more of that happening.
Mm-hmm.
Just see more young people. More when I say young, I'm like thinking under 50.
Oh, okay. Well, I was gonna say, yeah, we're like, because I've been to some of your events, and I look around, and I'm like, and I'm in my mid 40s, so on one hand, I'm kind of like, well, I'm kind of young
No, you're
ish.
young.
Mid 40. Okay, I'm middle age, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Um, do you think that? Well, let me ask you this: what do you think makes Vero kind of special for people our age, despite the slower pace? Is it
I think that we do have a lot to offer here that
Mhm.
maybe some other smaller towns don't.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for one, we have free public beaches
Mhm.
with free parking.
Yeah.
We don't have as much tourism that we're competing against. The restaurants aren't super busy. We don't
Yeah.
need reservations for a lot of them.
Beachside, you kind of do, but that's
Yeah.
a different thing.
Yeah. We do have a lot of opportunity for different types of events. We have a lot of breweries and distilleries on one hand, and then we have the lagoon and the
We
ocean.
have the lagoon. Yeah,
so-
I mean, yeah, you're right. We do have a lot of cool stuff here.
Yeah, and I think that if people can figure out what they enjoy doing, it wouldn't be hard to go from there and find a group that's already established doing
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah, definitely. So, what has been your favorite event as the founder of Young Adults of Vero Beach? Because I know you've coordinated. I mean, you're essentially you're almost kind of like an unpaid event coordinator at this point.
Right.
What's been some
yeah.
of your favorite events that you've thrown together?
Some of our more successful ones.
Mhm. I love your murder mysteries, by the way. They're
Oh my
they're
gosh,
always a blast. They
yes.
actually inspired me and Sharice to start running murder mysteries too. Like we've only hosted one so far, but it was like our housewarming party.
That's
which
what
was
we're
a lot of
gonna
fun.
do for
Oh,
our
really?
housewarming.
Oh,
yeah.
fun! So we did a 1920s murder mystery. That was a couple years ago. That was
at
a blast
8-bit,
at
yeah.
8-bit, which is sadly no longer there.
Yeah.
And we did the fairy tale murder mystery, which
for
was
our bachelorette, actually,
which-
bachelorette.
right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah. Those were really fun. A lot of people ask me about
Mm-hmm.
doing another one, so we're probably gonna do one in a few months.
Fun. All right. What's the? Do you have a theme in mind for this one or no?
Well, we just did the masquerade thing.
Masquerade thing.
so
I think
we-
I might have. I miss so much because I
It's
work the
okay.
weekends and
Yeah.
stuff.
We hosted. So I have a side project where I'm starting the Vero Beach Singles Network.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. So
Yeah.
yeah, Vero Beach Singles Network, and actually, I wanted to probably talk to you and maybe Jersey and get you guys both in here.
Yeah.
Getting close when we start getting like close to February, like we get close to
Right,
Valentine's
yeah.
Day, because I'm sure you guys probably have a big Valentine's Day event or something like that lined up.
Hopefully we will. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, well, all right. So I interrupted you again, I don't
It's
I
okay.
don't mean to do, but some of your favorite events for Young Adults of Vero Beach that you put together.
Yeah. We do the really big like cookouts for Memorial Day or
Mhm.
Labor Day, and one of the years we got a blow up obstacle course at Hobart,
Oh, fun.
and that was one of our biggest events. Like 60, 70 people came out,
Mhm.
and we just did burgers and potluck style. People brought sides, but we had a race, like a relay at the end,
Mhm.
where we had to run through the obstacle course, do some flip cup, and then something else. But
Mhm.
that was really fun. And we had another party over at JC that was also a really big one. I think because we had kegs. You're not supposed to do
that'll-
that. But
I didn't hear nothing.
but just anything where people are wanting to go out if
Mhm.
it's the holiday weekend, but they don't really have friends to celebrate with. Those are typically like more popular events.
Yeah.
But other than that, I really do enjoy hosting just our really simple potlucks because it's just no stress on me.
No stress. Just everybody
Yeah.
shows up, bring a little something. You go out to like Riverside Park or JC or something like that.
Yeah.
Everybody show up, bring something, hang out, eat. Pretty easy.
Yeah, low stress.
Mm-hmm. Well, what's the Vero Beach Singles about? I mean, I know a little bit about it, but
Yeah.
so if you're like dating in this town, like I don't know, I think you met your husband here in Vero, right?
Yeah, after a 5K.
Yeah, after a 5K. And so I mean, it really here's the thing about dating in Vero Beach, and as somebody who attempted to date in Vero Beach, so I moved back home to Vero Beach 2013. After I got divorced, and immediately said, okay, I'm home, a little bit of time has passed, I'm gonna get back into it, and I downloaded all the dating apps and with the swiping and it's terrible. Like I even like if I were single again, I would never go back to the dating apps. So I discovered, as I'm sure you discovered, best way to meet somebody is organically. Like dating apps are just so terrible. Like I feel like they're a toxic environment for both men and
Yeah.
for both men and women. It's just terrible.
It's like window shopping.
Yeah,
You have, I think you set higher expectations when you're online
there's
dating.
yeah, I think that's kind of the case too. Is higher expectations and also unrealistic expectations depending on who you're talking to. But like just some of the like crazy. Anyway, I won't go into my experiences on dating site because I'll eat up like an hour talking about it. But um, so you met your husband here after a 5K. I met my girlfriend hanging out with you guys going to karaoke. So in both cases, like we both met our significant others organically. So is that kind of what inspired you to bring about young adult singles?
Yeah, so I remember when you and I went to a singles event a long
Oh
time
my
ago.
gosh, it's singles mingle event. Vero like
Yeah.
singles mingle. Yeah,
We
I
were the
remember that.
youngest people there,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yes, yes,
I
we
think the
were.
only reason I went was because it was
There was like
unlimited sushi.
There was like
so-
there was sushi. There was like one person there that was my age, and I think she was the host. And I'm just like, well, I ain't shooting my shot there, so that ain't
Yeah.
gonna happen. And so I was just like, all right, I'm just gonna have some sushi and chit chat with everybody.
Yeah. So Jersey and I hosted a singles event because a lot of people do ask me, "Are you ever gonna host singles events?" And then I'll take a poll and ask, "Do you guys actually want a singles event where it's just you guys, or would you like to come to one of my regular events?" Because that's like we were saying earlier, the best way is just
Yeah,
the expectations are to make friends 1st,
Mhm.
expand your network. And so I always polled asking,
yeah.
do you want to just come to a regular event? And then I kind of just single you out by like wearing green or something like that. And that
Yeah.
was always a more popular choice.
I would think that's. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm sure there's a space for that as well. But like, um, yeah, I feel like if you go to like a singles event here in town, the expectation is like if I turn to you and I'm chatting with you, obviously like I'm trying to chat you up or something, and that's just not the case at all. Like you know what I
Yeah.
mean? And so there's a bit of awkwardness if you're talking to somebody of the opposite sex there at a singles event. Now, if it's just a normal event, I feel like the pressure isn't there.
Right.
Now, I'll give you an example.
agree.
I went to like one of those singles events for years and years ago. Literally nobody there my age. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And I'm just kind of like standing there awkwardly. So there was a very nice woman in her 60s who was there, and I was just like, and I ended up sitting next to her, and I was like, all right, well, I guess I'll just chat with you. You know what I mean? And so after I talked to her for like a couple of minutes, she goes, and she leans in and she puts her hand on my hand. She goes, "Sweetheart, I'm too old for you." And I was like, I was just being polite. Like, I'll leave you alone. So I'm like, but I walked away like, oh my God, did she think I was chatting her up? Like, it's so weird. But
my
yeah,
God.
but you guys have some big plans for doing the Vero singles stuff.
Yeah,
So, I
we're
mean,
trying to make it different. So it's not just going to be, hey, singles come to our events.
maybe like have it be where there's, I don't know, an activity of some sort.
Yeah,
that-
so our singles events actually they're super organized and formatted. So you come in there, you don't need to bring anything. You don't have to think of things to say. I from the moment you step in, there are activities, there are table topics. Um
Do you have one scheduled now?
no, so the network is changing. So we created the network specifically so that we could do more to support you as a person rather than hosting events. We're also doing a lot of back end stuff.
Okay.
Um, hopefully starting like a Discord, and doing more online things,
Okay.
and then also doing maybe some matchmaking in the background.
Now, is my friend Jersey? Is she like teaming up with you? Is this kind of
Yeah.
like the thing you guys are doing together?
Yeah,
Okay.
Jersey and one of my friends, Mel.
Okay.
I just chose people that I think have a pretty big network already in town. And Jersey, she knows a lot of people. She's been here a long time. She's a DJ. And my friend Mel, she's very good at professional networking. So, and Jersey also, I actually never met her before. I
Oh, really?
did
Hadn't
the
met Jersey?
singles event.
Oh,
No.
Jersey's great. I love Jersey.
I had my friend said, "Have you ever met Jersey? She likes to on her Facebook say, I'm looking for a male in his 40s, blah blah blah, trying to match
Trying to,
on
yeah,
there."
basically just trying to play matchmaker with people. Yeah,
Yeah.
that is typically the way she goes. So
Yeah. So
yeah.
I thought, let's team up and start doing actual events.
Yeah.
So she's helped me a lot. She's very good at making flyers and marketing and just bothering people to come out to our stuff.
Mhm.
So
Well, and I want to say this. One of the things I've noticed about young adults at Vero Beach is like the group is incredibly inclusive. Like you guys, basically anybody wants to show up. I've seen people that just kind of show up and awkwardly stand there, and you're just like, hey, no, go over here. Like you are part of the group now. Like don't care what your background is, just come on in. And also, there, even though it's called the young adults of Vero Beach, there's not really necessarily an age cutoff point.
right,
Like,
yeah.
hey, you guys really do take like all ages, like anybody welcome. Like,
Yeah, we
what are
have
you,
people in their
65?
50s.
That's fine. Come on
Yeah.
in. Be part of the young adults of Vero Beach. We don't care. It's cool with us. So I mean, that's something that I always really like there. So you really don't have to worry about like if you want to be part of some of these events. Even though we talked a little bit earlier about like the retirement community vibe. Hey, even if you are retired and you want to come and hang out and be
Yeah,
one of the
come
young adults
join
at Vero
us.
Beach, you can come hang out with us. Like that's cool with us. So so don't feel like you have to stay home if you see one of those events. Um, so what's next for young adults at Vero Beach? Any upcoming events, collaborations that we didn't already touch on?
No, the next event that we have is Friendsgiving.
Friendsgiving, okay.
Yeah. One of our members luckily has a clubhouse in his community that we're allowed to use
nice.
for no money at all, which is
Okay.
very nice.
Okay.
I was like an indoor space.
I was like the ugly sweater Christmas party if I can make
Oh,
it.
yeah.
If my schedule allows. That's also why like people are like, are you like, they'll ask me like, are you one? I'm like, yes, I'm one of them. I just don't have time to go to any of the events. I go where I can, of course, but
Yeah, and during Christmas we always do the cookie exchange at Walking Tree.
The cookie-
and
yeah.
It's usually during
it's
trivia
usually during
or
trivia, so I get to
bingo.
come over and see you guys and steal some cookies.
Yeah. Those will be our next two events.
Yeah, awesome. Well, if you could just kind of like wave a magic wand and change any one thing about young adult life in Vero Beach, what would it be? Not to put you on the spot, but I'm totally
Yeah,
going to put you on the
no.
spot.
I wish that we had more inclusive space
Mhm.
that was open after 5 p.m.
Yeah.
You know, a
Mhm.
lot of our beginning events were at Walking Tree.
Hmm.
And we had a lot of people that say, we don't want to go to those events. I don't want to be around alcohol. It was a really interesting
And unfortunately,
criticism.
yeah, I mean, it's a valid criticism, especially for a lot of people that like, maybe they recovered,
Yeah.
they're recovered alcoholics
Yeah.
or they're recovering alcoholics and they don't want to be around. And unfortunately, like that's kind of the way things are, like, my boss Rhett, who just walked in, he'll tell you he's he recovered from drinking years ago. He has no desire to be around any type of alcohol. But that's kind of the norm, isn't it? Like if you want to be in like a social space,
Mm-hmm.
typically alcohol is involved.
Yeah,
So,
and we don't have any spaces here either, like cafes that are open past 5.
Mhm.
Coffee House is the one that's open the latest, but it's 5.
yeah.
So
mhm.
where else can we go where we don't need to spend a lot of
Pizza
money?
place. I don't know. Yeah.
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 And some people and a lot of young adults don't want to spend money either. So
yeah.
where can we go?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, I had a question and then I lost. Oh yeah, what's your favorite Vero hangout spot? If you had to like just one thing off the top of your head.
I really like being outside, so
Just anything outdoors.
yeah, any park is really nice, especially today. It's so
Oh,
nice
it's so gorgeous
outside.
out, right?
Yeah.
Finally got that fall weather. So, if somebody wants to go check out some of the events, like how do they find you guys?
Find us on Facebook.
Yeah.
That's all we have.
Yeah. Hey, that's fine.
You
yeah.
can find us on
It's not a
Instagram,
business. Like you're not
too.
selling anything. It's just
Yeah.
it's just a social club. So
Yep.
yeah, for sure.
Facebook is the best.
All right. Awesome. Elise, thanks so much for coming in today. I really appreciate your time. I had a great time. I hope you did too.
Yeah, I did. It was fun.
All
I'm
right,
glad
awesome.
we could advertise.
Thanks. Well, yeah, let's definitely make a plan. Get you back here into the studio at some point, maybe around Halloween, talk about some of your singles events, and definitely want to get you back in here and just kind of talk about the civil engineering side of things.
Yeah.
I think that would be a lot of fun. So,
Sounds good.
all right. Hey, guys, thanks so much for hanging out with me. My name's Doolin for Vero Beach Podcast, and as always, I'll see you on the beach. Till next time, guys.
The sound of our town, the Treasure Coast choice.